Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we will be learning in Python how to create the patterns using the function and for loop. So patterns as in the pyramids or the asterisks, which most of you guys, if you're studying in universities or schools, you need to do it as your basic project. So how to create that pattern using just one function and one for loop. Okay, so let's get started. So we'll be working in three pyramids. Okay, that's the like using the star or asterisk. So one will be the full pyramid, other one will be an inverted pyramid, and the next one would be an hollow pyramid. Okay, or a pattern. Okay, so first we'll start with the definition. The function actually, that's the function definition. So I have a file which is p.py already in my Sublime text. So I'll just write the function name. So let's say my first name is full pyramid. Okay, and I take a parameter as rows for it. Fine. Now, if I first show you how that pyramid should look like, so it should be in a triangular form. That particular pyramid should be in a triangular form, right? So if you notice, there are, if this is a complete square, if you take a complete square, so if you see, there are spaces within it, okay, wherein you have to give the spaces, and then only this particular pyramid will be completed if you take a square. Okay, so you have to work with spaces very efficiently when you are working with pyramids or when you are working with patterns. Fine. So herein the patterns will be resembled with the help of a asterisk. Okay, we can call it as an asterisk, we can call it as stars. Like, let's say I have 5 number of rows. Okay, I'll take 5 number of rows and I have to create the pattern. Fine. So this is the pattern, what it will look like. Okay, so basically the outline is just for demonstration how actually you have to work. You have to work on the spaces so that this particular whatever you have inside this particular triangle uh, comes in your output. Okay, so first one is a full pyramid. Fine. So I have defined a function that is full pyramid, and I've taken a parameter as in rows. So as I said, I'll work on 5 rows. You can take more than that as well. Then after the function you have defined, you have to go on to the for loop. Okay, so I'll write for I in range, and then I'll take rows. Okay, and then a colon. Fine. Now here inside the for loop, what will happen? It will run from I and it will run till the number of rows which you have specified. Okay. So what you have to print? So in the printing part, what we will write? So we will write first of all blank spaces, right? So we'll use the inverted commas for the blank space. After that, there should be an asterisk. Okay. And then I'll write the code, and then I'll make you understand why each code is written and what each. So row minus I minus 1 if we take for a full pyramid, and then you can add the asterisk. Okay, and then you can write, say, 2 plus 1. Okay, and then I'll move on for mentioning the number of rows, which is equal to 5, and then just call the function that is full pyramid, and then rows. That's it. That's your program. 2 line or maximum 3 line. Okay, now if you see, let me explain you in this one, the print function, what's actually happening. Okay, so here we have variables as in like I, we have variables as rows. Okay, and I'll have something as output. Okay, now if you see the firstly, okay, first what's happening in the print statement, there is a blank space getting printed. Okay, so blank space will get printed, and after that there will be an asterisk sign. Okay, now what is happening after that? It is row minus I minus 1, this one. Okay, so that means row value is 5 minus I and then minus 1. Okay, so suppose it's starting from 0. So 5 minus 0 minus 1. That means it's actually taking the position, okay, where the first asterisk will come up. Okay, so herein this row minus I minus 1, what it will do, it will actually print the spaces to align the pyramid. That means the spaces to align the pyramid into the center of your output. Okay, so the spaces which it has, that this row minus I minus 1 will print. So these are the spaces. So what it will do, it will make your pyramid into the center of your screen. Okay, and what will be the role of 2 multiplied by I plus 1? So this particular will print the asterisk inside the pyramid. Okay, the asterisk which will be printed, that will be printed with the help of 2 multiplied by I plus 1. Okay, so that's the role of row minus I minus 1, which will be printing the blank space in order to make the pattern into the middle of your output, and then or 2 multiplied by I plus 1, with the help of which you will be able to print the asterisk actually. Okay, so that is why this particular code you have to use for printing the pattern if you want it into like a full pyramid, like in the middle. Okay, so if I just run this off, let me save it and let me open the command prompt. Okay, just open your file. So Python, and my file name is p.py. Okay, now if you see, this is the output which we got. So what's happening here, this is the asterisk, okay, and then it's in the center and it's coming in the form of a rows. So what's happening, row minus I minus 1, that means here if you see, there are spaces. If I complete this up, if I just complete this up, so there are spaces right here, right? So space number 1, then 2, then here there is spaces. Okay, so you have to complete these spaces, then only these asterisks will come up in the center. Okay, so whatever kind of pattern you are making in using Python, at that point of time you have to make sure first of all you write the code for spaces and then move on for creating the patterns. Once you're done with the spaces, then only the pattern will get created. That means the asterisk will get created. Okay, now that was with a full pyramid which was in center. Suppose you want it in the left hand side. Okay, suppose you want the pyramid in the left hand side. So for that, what you can do, just remove the spaces. Okay, I'm just quitting the spaces. Okay, I'll just save this off, and now I'll just run it from the command line again. Now if you see the output, now it is in the left hand side. Okay, so it has completely shifted to left hand side. Fine. Why? Because I have removed the spaces from the quotes. I have removed the spaces. There were extra spaces so that it can push the asterisk to the middle in this particular condition. But when I remove the spaces, it will go on to the left hand side. And if I give multiple spaces, then it will shift on to the right hand side. That's how a pattern works. It completely depends upon how you judge the spaces and how you run it. Okay, now that was regarding a full pyramid wherein you can position shift, that is in the center and then in the left hand side. Okay, now what if I just want an inverted pyramid? Okay, I want a inverted pyramid. So for the inverted pyramid, what you have to do, you don't have to write any other code. Okay, I'm just doing it in the same code. So let's say for the inverted pyramid, you have to run the for loop in reverse order, right? So for that, I'll just write rows and then minus 1, 0 comma rows comma 0 comma minus 1. That means it is running it in the reverse order. Okay, so let me do something. If okay, I think now it would be quite clear. Okay, let me exit the full screen. Yeah. So here now if you see again, so now what we have to do, we have to work on the inverted pyramid. So for that, rows, comma 0, comma -1, that's the first change you have to do. Next, what you have to do, keep it as it is, like the full pyramid. Okay, the only thing which needs to be changed over here is this one. That means now we are running reverse. The pyramid should be a inverted one. So instead of plus, you just have to change it to minus. That's it. That's the only change which you need to do in order to print a inverted pyramid. Okay, so if you just save this off and try to run it again. So here I'll write Python and p.py. So if you see this, this is what we got the output as a inverted pyramid. That means now suppose if my loop is running in this particular case from 1 to 5. Okay, it starts from 1 to 5, but in this case what will happen, the loop will run from 5 to 1. Okay, that means in a reverse order. That is why in the for loop, if you see, I have taken -1 and then 0, and you just have to change the +1 to -1. Okay, that's the only change in case of a inverted pyramid. Okay, so 3 pyramids we have seen only in 2 line of code in Python, that is center, left hand side, and then the inverted one. Now next we will see how to create a Hallow pyramid. Okay, how you can create an Hallow pyramid. Hallow pyramid means you just have to put the asterisks only in the boundary line. That means suppose if this is the triangle, okay, inside this nothing should be there. Okay, it should be Hallow. Your asterisk should come just beside the it should form a triangle, complete triangle. Okay, it should look something like this. Within this, like inside this, it should be completely Hallow. If I show you this particular output, so this one, so if you see, asterisks are there inside it, so I just have to remove the asterisks which are there inside it. I just need the outline, you can call that way. Okay, so for that what we have to do, we have to go with the conditions. That is, inside the for loop we have to go on with the if conditions. Okay, so what would be the if condition? So first if condition would be, we have to check if I is equal to 0 or I is equal to rows -1. Okay, that would be my first condition. So I'll check if I is equal to 0, okay, or I is equal to rows -1. Okay, that's my first if condition. If this condition is satisfied, then what I'll do, I'll just print the spaces first, then the asterisks, and then after that you have to print rows -i -1. Okay, and then I'll print the asterisks again. Okay, and then the asterisks which should inside the triangle, nothing should be there, so for that I +1. It's quite simple. This would be quite simple, this one, because this is just related to what we have created a full pyramid. It would be similar to that. Okay, whereas in the else part, what you have to do here, if I write the else part, if the first condition is not satisfying, then in the else part you have to write else print. Okay, and then you have to take the spaces, and after that there is an asterisk sign which we have to work on, and then rows -i -1, and then again the asterisks, so 2 multiplied by I, and then -1. Okay, and then plus this. Okay, so that's the complete thing. Now what will happen in this particular case, if I just save this off, okay, and here if I just write python p.py, okay, now check what's the output. The output will be something like this. Nothing is there, It's a complete Hallow pyramid.